elementary families. I am pleased to say welcome back to another school year, although it is obvious that this will be a welcome back that we've never seen before. I am very visual, so I thought it would be a good idea to visually explain our framework and some details to our reopening plan. Now, this will be an explanation that is specific to elementary procedures. Please refer to some of our Java with Joes and our FAQs for more of our district procedures and safety measures. As I develop some of the finer details of our school day, my goal was to keep as much as we've had in place as much as possible. Our families, staff, and most importantly, our students have endured enough in the last few months, and hopefully this brings back some form of normalcy. With that said, some of those same activities and procedures may have a different look to them. But please understand that this is the best that we can do relative to what we are facing and within the guidelines we must follow. Through this presentation, the following will be explained: our arrival, dismissal, curriculum and instruction, and our supports, a sample class schedule, remote learning, kindergarten orientation, and other pertinent information. Thank you.
Here's our bell schedule. Second period will be the beginning of our students' day. As far as arrival and dismissal, health screenings will also be performed as shown as the day in the life video, as students begin to enter the building at 8:30 a.m. and dismissal will begin at 2:52 p.m. Here we have a sample of your child's day-to-day schedule. There will be a time dedicated to homeroom where students will get themselves situated before starting their day. Students will eat in the classroom with their teachers, and the lunch period will be split with recess, where students will have an opportunity to go outside when appropriate. Specials and related arts teachers will travel to each class, and there will not be any transitions to specials for students. The following will be our related arts and specials for this year: music, art, STEAM, Spanish, computers, PE, and health, where art and STEAM will be split into semesters. Our approved curricula are still the same. Our children learn best in small groups, and although small groups cannot physically be performed, the idea of virtually grouping students together, even in an in-person setting, will be appropriate. This still gives us an opportunity to differentiate. The guidance received about reusing books states that reading materials are safe to be reused after being quarantined for 3 days, but we'll take a safer approach and take a bit more time before reusing. We've also digitized some of our subscriptions for remote learners. A Foundations at-Home kit is an example. Through our curriculum, our goal is making all students feel safe in schools. With the implementation of an inclusive curriculum and the emphasis on social-emotional learning, we plan for this to be accomplished. The inclusive curriculum is to create a climate in which race, ethnicity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, physical appearance, social economic class, family structure, and physical or developmental abilities are considered assets and resources for personal and academic achievement. This will be infused into our character education curriculum and will be delivered in an age-appropriate manner. Social-emotional learning is a must, even more during this pandemic. Through our morning meetings, our school counselor, and through the use of other curricular material, children will learn to understand and manage emotions, set goals, show empathy for others, establish positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. We've made a switch to IXL as our benchmark assessment to identify areas in need of reinforcement and support, and also areas in need of enrichment. BSI in Gifted and Talented will be performed through a virtual push-in model after students have been identified. Our screeners that we've used in the past are still in place. The following special education services will still be provided through a pull-out model, and for the remote learners, students will still have an opportunity to receive the services in person and on campus. Services such as occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech, and counseling. Supports such as INRS and 504 meetings will still follow the same scheduling and documentation process. The only difference is the actual meetings will be done virtually, but will still be just as effective. Next is our remote learning process, the instruction, the platform, and the training. Students and guardians that have chosen 100% remote will have their own remote class, with the exception of special education to ensure the proper services are in place. Special education classes will have a mixture of in-person and live streaming through Zoom. This is feasible due to the extra teacher in the room or the small number of students in other classes. Some grade levels will have 2 remote classes taught by 2 different teachers. Remote classes will follow the same schedule as they do in person. Strategies such as breakout rooms and others will help facilitate small group instruction in limiting screen time for students. Also, we will streamline the process and make it more user-friendly when it comes to switching to their specials in related arts. All teachers will use Google Classroom as their virtual classroom. The goal is to simplify the process to only use one main platform. Within that platform, teachers will have schedules, links, assignments, feedback, supplemental online subscriptions, and etc. The video communication tool will be Zoom. As a district, we purchased the pro version of Zoom, and teachers will be trained on different features and instructional strategies within the program. Teachers have already done some research on their own, and some are very familiar with the program. To maintain a positive, productive learning environment and to assure confidentiality during Zoom sessions, all parents and guardians are asked to observe the following guidelines. Please avoid any disruptions to the learning environment. Please do not video record, audio record, take pictures, or post the sessions on any social media sites. Any confidential or personally identifiable information of any student should not be collected or discussed. If a parent or guardian has a question, please email the teacher. I'm pleased to say that kindergarten orientation will take place in person on Thursday, September 3rd. Buses will begin to pick up students and parents at 8 a.m. Please refer to the letter being mailed out and the notification for your times. Health screenings will take place just as it did in the Day in the Life video, before getting on the bus. At approximately 8:30 a.m., we are asking walkers and car riders to arrive, which should time up with the bus. Screenings will also be performed for those arriving as walkers and car riders. At this time, in an organized fashion, teachers will be ready to meet their students while social distancing and will go into their classrooms. Remote students will have the opportunity to meet their teachers also. From that point, parents and guardians will report to the field hockey field for a meet and greet with myself and other stakeholders with valuable information. Students will then meet with their parents before boarding the bus as walkers and car riders reunite with their parents. We look forward to meeting everyone. Material pickups for remote learners will begin September 4th. Teachers will reach out to you to inform you that materials are gathered and ready to be picked up, and I will have available time slots and days to stop by and collect those items. In some ways, it will be the same format that was used for material drop-offs during the spring. Classroom placements will be communicated to students and parents early next week. There are some responses that have trickled in the last few days that have affected the timeline. Through this time, I ask that we all stay positive and flexible. This is a situation that is new to all, and there will be some minor adjustments made to improve the process. Thank you, and see you all September 8th. Together we can.